Blog Talk Radio.
Raw living is a state of mind, a way of being in alignment with your body. Raw living means you put yourself and your body first. Your host, Sidhu-Robb, is the founder of Nosh Detox, located in the UK. They offer innovative raw food smoothies sold across Europe. You experience it in your skin, your body, and your mind. And now it's time for Living Raw Radio.
Sluggish? Do you feel bloated? Is your energy levels really low? Do you find everything that you eat goes straight to fat? My name is Candice, and I am the naturopathic nutritionist at Nosh Detox. I am here to tell you that your body needs a rest. If that sounds like you are ready to try a Nosh juice fast. A juice fast is the most natural way for your body to detox, while providing you all the life-saving minerals and vitamins that your body needs and craves. From beginners to advanced juices, we have all the options that may be available to you or suited to you. Call me on 0845 257 6674 or go to noshdetox.com and click on the right program for you. I'm right here to help you and support you. Thank you.
Nosh Detox is an award-winning company for your ultimate health improvement. Nosh Detox system works on all areas of the body, having dealt with thousands of clients whose health dramatically improved within days. For more details, visit noshdetox.com. noshdetox.com.
Hello everyone and welcome to Living Raw Radio. Your presenter today is Elizabeth. Your usual presenter Geeta is away for a few days, so you have me as your host. And for today we have a wonderful lady, Jenna Zoe, who is going to tell us all about exactly what she does. I think it's incredibly amazing, but I would not spoil the surprise for you. I would wait for Jenna to tell you a little bit about herself. Jenna, are you there?
Yes, hi.
Wonderful. Hi. Hello, Jenna.
Hi.
Hi. I have had the pleasure of obviously checking you out a little bit, and I must admit that I'm incredibly excited for various reasons, which obviously we'll come to. So,
thank you.
Do you want to introduce yourself and say a little bit about yourself so that our listeners can get to know you a little bit better as well?
Yeah, sure. So my name is Jenna Zoe, and I run two businesses. One is called Upcakes, which is a company that makes and sells healthy sweet treats that are free from wheat, dairy, sugar, and eggs, and most of them are also free from gluten as well.
Amazing.
So we sell online, and we sell kind of in retailers all over London now, plenty of gyms and little cafes and things.
Mm-hmm.
And it's been going for about 3 years now.
Wow.
And I started Upcakes basically because I was working in fashion at the time, and I went vegan. I was inspired to go vegan after reading up about what the benefits are and everything. But the only thing was I couldn't find any treats that were healthy, and I obviously, sometimes you crave things that are just like a sweet treat here and there, So I started making my own basically, and just on the side on weekends and those kinds of things. And people would come over, or I'd bring them to other friends' houses, or some of my mother's friends with young kids would say to me, "Oh my gosh, I need this because I'm allergic to that, or I can't have this, or I'm avoiding dairy, or I'm trying to lose weight. Where can I buy these? Where do you sell them?" And I obviously at the time wasn't even thinking that this would be an idea, but I thought I would just give it a go and see if it would work out. And what I realized was that the demand for this kind of thing was so huge that it inspired me to quit my job in fashion and make it a full-time thing.
Okay, so that was how many? That was 3 years ago, I think.
Yeah, so 2010 I started Upcakes.
Okay, wonderful. And so how have you found it? So first and foremost, let's talk about as a woman, obviously in business, and how difficult it is to actually, make that kind of decision that you made to quit your job and to start something, not sure whether you're going to get, an income flow and all that sort of stuff. How difficult was it to actually say, this is it? Actually, I'm going to follow this path.
What happened was I started it very slowly whilst I was still working in fashion.
Right.
So I guess I kind of took like a safe gamble in the sense that I knew that if it didn't take off, then I would still...
You still had a job.
Yeah, then I would still keep my job and everything. And it to me, and this is a really interesting piece of business advice. Someone said to me, with your own company, it's kind of like a baby. The first year is going to be really tough.
Right.
The second year, you'll feel like you have to put so much work in to really establish the kind of basics. And then the third year, you'll start to see all your hard work sort of pay off. Kind of like with the toddler, all of a sudden they know how to speak and talk and walk and all those wonderful things. So, and that's kind of exactly how I found it, how it's turned out, because all of a sudden, when I reached my third year, things just started to kind of come together and add up, and like a bus. You wait for one, and then three come. And then it's exactly like that.
Of course. So if, for example, someone is listening right now, I know you talked about turning vegan or healthy eating. How easy is it?
To be honest with you, I kind of toyed in my mind with the idea of going vegan for about a year before I tried it. Because in my head, I kind of thought, especially in this country, it's not a word that you really think about or talk about much. Veganism is still kind of practiced by 0.3% of the population. And I just thought, I don't want to be a pain when I go out to restaurants. I don't want to, go to people's houses and not have anything to eat, and it would be too difficult. And, how would I just avoid stuff? Like, I was just so afraid of, having to make changes in the way that I live my life that I didn't do it. And then in the month of I decided all of a sudden it was June and everyone was getting healthy, and this is about 4 or 5 years ago now, and everyone was, all my girlfriends were giving up sugar for a month, and I said, what I'm going to do is I'm going to see if I can be vegan for a month, because a month doesn't sound that hard at all, and if it's impossible, then I'll just ditch it.
Yeah.
So I tried it for a month, and the first two things that really were so clear to me almost from like day 2, day 3 was that it's super easy to do. Like, it's a lot less difficult than I initially thought it would be.
Right.
And almost immediately, I just slept so well and felt so amazing. And my digestion, I'd struggled with bloating for a really long time, like most women, really. And I never really felt energized after eating meals and all that sort of thing. And that almost went away, instantaneously. So I was like, I'm not giving this up because I just feel too good. Like, I will make whatever changes and sacrifices and everything that it's going to take, because I just like this too much. So it kind of stuck with me from there.
Sounds good. Okay, so going back to the treats you make, obviously you said it's dairy-free, it's gluten-free, and it's sugar-free. How tasty? I mean, I'm sure it is, but how easy is it to get something tasting so good, but yet have no nasties in them?
Yeah, well, this is the thing, is that when I was baking for myself, when I was making all these treats just for me, I thought to myself, there are sort of healthy sweet treats out there. but they're kind of not really good stand-ins for an actual brownie or when you really want a piece of cake and everything. You know, there were plenty of sweet treats that were made with like nuts and seeds and honey and spirulina and things, but you know, when I was going vegan and I ate those kind of things, I still found myself wanting the cake or the brownie or the whatever it was. So I was like, this isn't an authentic enough stand-in. So for me, that was a really important part of having this as a business. I was like, I'm only going to do things that really, you know, pass like a blind taste test. If you tell someone it's a brownie and they taste it, they're going to assume it's just a normal, regular, conventional brownie.
I see. Absolutely.
Otherwise, I wasn't going to do that at all.
Absolutely. So, do you find that obviously you obviously quit your job, which means that it's taking off, like you said, and people are buying. Do you find that is it only vegans who purchase that, or other people, you know, non-vegans?
Well, you know what? The funny thing is that you know, I didn't ever want to market my stuff as being vegan, and I still don't. It's not.
Right.
It's not one of the things I first mention when I tell people about the products, just because I feel like vegan is a tag that is still alienating for a lot of people, and it has like a health halo that can be scary. So I like to focus more on the fact that it's just a healthier option for a sweet treat, and I feel like a lot more people can identify with that kind of tagline. So, and definitely it's not just vegans at all. You know, a lot of people are avoiding dairy just because they know it's more healthy to go without it. And as time has gone on, you know, when I started, I was having to do a lot of explanation about, you know, what's the benefits of egg-free and dairy-free and gluten-free and whatever. But recently they've all just become, you know, buzzwords, which has obviously made things a little easier.
So if I had, for example, I'm not intolerant to gluten and slightly to dairy, but obviously having found your treats, which I'm going to go search out, obviously. But for someone like me who's so used to having, you know, treats that are the usual dairy, gluten and all that sort of stuff, would it taste, obviously, would it taste be any different to what I'm used to?
No, and that isn't just me. I mean, I'd probably be the worst person to ask because I can't even remember what those normal ones taste like. But everybody who tries them, for me as well, the male taste test is really important because if you give it to a man and they say they like it, that obviously
then everybody would like it.
Yeah, and not just, you know, how some of us girls, we kind of try and like things if we're told that they're healthy and we can wrap our heads around it. So they've passed the male taste test time and time again, which I'm quite happy about.
So how can you, what do you replace? I mean, don't tell me your trade secrets at all. It's not what I'm asking for. But what do you replace? Because you know that, for example, when you buy soft drink and the diet version of it, you know, the sugar-free version of it would always have something else.
Yeah.
Which is equally bad for you. And you would as well have had the full fat or whatever else.
Absolutely.
How do you replace? What exactly do you use? Or, you know, how do you make yours?
Yeah. So I have 3 main products that I sell commercially, and then I make a lot of stuff made to order and custom made and all that sort of thing. And I can pretty much what I say healthify or veganize any recipe really. And once you get into the tricks and tips, it's actually quite easy because you know what the different substitutions are. So, you know, say the more obvious ones are using almond milk instead of normal milk.
Right.
Then there are more complicated ones, like instead of using eggs, you use what's called a flax egg or a chia egg, which is where you grind up a tablespoon of either chia seeds or flax seeds, and you mix it with 3 tablespoons of water and allow it to thicken up and gel up, and it helps bind recipes the same way that eggs do. But as it happens, I have a cookbook coming out in September, which is called Super Healthy Snacks and Treats, and it's going to have all different kinds of recipes, both savory and sweet, for you know, how to make these different substitutions and you know, empowering you to be inspired to kind of healthify your own favorite recipes.
Wonderful. So if I, for example, I mean, I don't have any children, but I have lots of friends who do have children. And I know that whenever you're sort of, you know, you're trying to buy a snack for a child, you want a healthier version of it, you end up having a carrot stick or passing on a carrot stick. what other stuff can you give your child, or my friends can give their children if they don't want to necessarily give them, the hummus or the lemon or that sort of, the obvious stuff. Yeah.
Well, I mean, there are definitely, more than ever, there are definitely creative ways to kind of give your kids things that they won't even realize is necessarily healthy. So some of my favorites, actually, now that it's summer, what I do a lot, I do it for myself, but a lot of people end up doing it for their kids too, is I buy ice lolly molds and I make kind of, different juices and smoothies. And I freeze the leftovers to make kind of, ice lollies or pops and things. So for example, one of the ones that I love is I mix equal parts of coconut milk with orange juice. And I put a frozen banana in there and I blend that all up. And that makes kind of like an orange creamsicle, lollipop, but it's just so much better for you than all the the cornettos of the world and things. And there's another one that I do with pineapple and avocado, and you can't even taste the avocado. I mean, you can get so creative with these kind of things. And then kale chips is another one that I really like. And funny enough, I've given it to so many kids. And kids, funny enough, sometimes they're less judgmental about what it looks like or if it looks too healthy or whatever. They just care about the taste.
Of course.
So if you can buy kale chips or make your own that are, I don't know, something really easy like salt and vinegar, or you can coat them with a bit of agave. A lot of the times kids love that kind of thing.
Wow, kale chips. It's the new thing.
Yeah, I mean, people can't get enough right now, but a lot of it lies in flavoring it the way that you like, So if you don't like the salt and vinegar ones, then I guarantee you it's not an issue with the texture. You just have to find, the different flavor profile that you like.
Sounds like a plan. So you've got obviously your next move is obviously to your book is coming out.
Mhm.
What else have you got in store?
So along with the release of the book on Foodstolove, which is my other website where I sell all my favorite health food products, Foodstolove is basically getting a makeover to coincide with the timing of the book, in the sense that what will happen is that every single recipe that's in the book, you'll be able to literally go on the website and click to buy every single ingredient that's listed in the book. So my idea was that actually, more niche ingredients like cornstarch or nutritional yeast, they're not that easy to find. And a lot of the time, those kind of things, when I was into cooking healthy for myself, I just wouldn't bother making a recipe if I couldn't find the ingredients. So my idea was that I could put them all in one place and make it very easy for people to find, and then that in turn makes you more likely to go ahead and make the recipe. Okay.
So that would be a lot easier, because people can just basically buy your book, look at it, then go onto your website, buy the product, and make whatever it is that they want to make.
Yeah.
By just going, it's literally a one-stop shop.
Exactly.
For everything that it needs.
Took the words out of my mouth.
that is very ingenious, actually. I would say that's very genius.
I just, the idea just came from my wishing that someone else had done that when I was first starting to learn how to get healthy. So it's obviously, I guess, you inspire from your own needs, right?
Absolutely. So I want to talk a little bit. I mean, I'm not quite sure if you find, because I used to run a cafe, and on my own. So I want to sort of figure out how difficult is it as a woman in business. I don't know whether you have partners or you're on your own, or if you wake up in the morning, what else you need to do, how well you need to organize yourself, and the million things you need to organize.
Yeah,
I want to talk a little bit about that and how difficult that is.
Yeah, well, it's definitely not easy, that's for sure. And I don't think that anyone ever tried to tell me that it's easy, but it isn't kind of unattainable either. I think the key is just to you can invent time, you can make your own time, and there's always enough space in the over the course of the day, but only to do the things that you make a priority, right? So for me, it's been a lot about constantly keeping a to-do list that I'm always updating. And, you know, whatever's at the top of that list is my first priority, and I will just go from there and do the thing that has to be done right now. And once I'm finished that, then I'm going to do something else. And the thing that I always remind myself is that, you know, especially when you're working for yourself and it's a lot of self-motivated work, even when I have no idea what to do next, I'm just like, I'll say to myself, just do something, just keep it in motion and keep it going, because the motion begets more motion. Do you know what I mean? So the more energy you're putting out there, the more comes back to you, and then it just kind of starts a cycle, which then becomes less of an effort the more you do, in a way.
So you have to constantly be doing something, even if you, even if you feel slightly lost. Exactly. Or tired, or whatever it is. If you have the time is there, then do something. About, you know, I'm not up till 1 a.m, kind of driving myself about it. But over the course of the workday, you know, for me, I just aim to keep doing stuff, like just over and over, just keep on doing something and start something new and whatever. And when I have no idea what to do, I'll just think of something to do, and often that ends up, being, like quite a fun idea. So your life must be right. Okay. So you must have a little bit. I mean, I can imagine that creating, products is a lot of fun.
Yeah, it is. Actually, probably my favorite part of the.
I can imagine
the job. Yeah, and it's funny because the reason that you go into a business, for example, for me, because I loved baking it and I loved making healthy products. You know, when you end up doing a business, you end up doing so much more other stuff that isn't the reason that you went into things, like, all the admin and the invoicing, ordering and cooking it, and dealing with delays and all that kind of stuff. And that's kind of unavoidable no matter what industry you're going to go in, I think. But, there are always times when you get the opportunity to kind of revisit the reasons why you go back into stuff. And I always try and keep that in mind, that, there's a bigger picture here, and what I'm trying to do is bigger than just me hating doing my invoices and things.
I like that. If only somebody had told me that, I would have I'd have been much more successful than now. So the plan is to just keep going and remember there's a bigger picture why you started.
That's what works for me anyway, so...
No, that's just very solid. That's an incredibly sound advice. So so have you got, I just want to know a little bit more, for example, in your day-to-day, if somebody's sat somewhere, right, somebody's listening right now and they're thinking, okay, I have this great idea, I think I have a great idea. How do I go about it? I know you set it off by baking, and people said, this is really, really good, and therefore that's where you got your idea from, But if somebody sat somewhere, they haven't made whatever it is, I don't know, created it, thought about it, but they've been thinking about it for a long time. They think they might be good at something. They think they'd like to try something or go into business for themselves. What do they do? What's the best step? You're lying in your bed, you wake up in the morning, and you think, I'd like to do this, but
the first thing is that, and I've been asked this a couple of times before with people who say, I have this great idea for this food product, and, where can I get it made, and where can I find it, blah, blah, blah. And instinctively, I'm not a baker by training. I never grew up wanting to bake. I never, had dreams of opening a bakery or anything like that. But I became a baker because I had to. And when I look back, I think actually, I could have so easily outsourced it and got someone else to do it for me and, made me different samples, and I could have approved it and everything. But I think, what I learned was that I shouldn't give things to someone else because I don't have the faith that I can do them. And what ends up happening is that when you are the initial person making, creating, doing, testing, giving it to other people and everything, it gives you this faith that not only that you can pretty much do anything, but if you then were to outsource it, you know exactly how it works and the nitty-gritty of the details and everything. Like, I don't think you should give anyone else the responsibility of figuring out what the core of your business is going to be. So even if you have an idea to start, let's say we were just talking about kale chips, let's say you wanted to start a kale chip business, I would say make, 100 different kinds of kale chips yourself. and then try and see what you like and see how you can tweak them rather than give that to somebody else, or try and find an agency or a test kitchen or whatever it is that can do that for you. Because you'll be amazed at how much you really can do. We just need to have the faith in ourselves, and it really gives you that good foundation, I think, because now obviously someone else does my production. I hired someone to do my production.
Oh, so now you hire, okay, right, but you've been doing it for 3 years, so of course.
Yeah. So I hired someone about a year ago who makes all the products that we sell commercially, even though I still do all the special orders.
Right.
And because I know exactly how it works, that's the only reason that she knows how to do it, and that I know she knows exactly what she's doing, and I can tell her, can we tweak this? Are you changing that? Maybe this batch is a bit too dry, and we need to add more hazelnut milk to this, and all that sort of thing. So, but I only know that because I'm intimately familiar with my product, basically. So I think that to get intimately familiar with a product is the number one thing.
And also your recipes are your recipes, right? So it's not like that production company can reproduce it for someone else.
Yeah, and I have been approached by a couple of people who said, where can I get them made? Who can I ask to sample this idea for me and everything? And I just say, get in your kitchen and just give it a go. You'll be surprised with what you can come up with. It really is amazing that the limits of our creativity just expand as much as we have confidence in them.
In that case, did you get a lot of waste then, or did you always have somebody?
Oh yeah. No. Some of my stuff was absolutely inedible, especially in the beginning. And to get a good brownie took me something like, must have taken me about 60 to 70 different tries to get the perfect one that I kind of envisaged in my head. And of course you don't throw anything away when you're comparing stuff, so I ended up with 20 or 25 different samples hanging around my kitchen all at the same time. I mean, it looked like some of them hadn't even baked properly, so it looked like I was in a field of wet mud kind of thing, with just whole different boxes and bags and samples and cups full of stuff. I mean, it just looked ridiculous, but it obviously there's no shortcut to the trial and error thing.
Okay. Just a quick question that sort of popped into my mind as you were talking, obviously, as you were speaking. I just thought to myself, how long, obviously, I know a production kitchen does your products at the moment. What does that mean for keeping, for shelf life?
Well, no, I actually own my own kitchen. I just I've employed someone to do my production.
Right. So you have your own kitchen?
I have my own kitchen, yeah.
Right, okay. So, and they come in and they do it whilst so you can pop in at any point.
Exactly. I kind of still do the day-to-day running of the business, which is, delivering, managing orders. People order online, I wrap up their orders, I write all the little handwritten thank you notes myself, all that kind of stuff. But someone actually makes the upcakes now. So she's my employee. But what's cool about the products is that because there's no animal products in any of them, the shelf life is actually really long, because if you think about it, there's nothing in there then that's going to go rancid or that's going to decompose, that's going to putrefy or anything like that. So our products, we say a recommended shelf life of 3.5 weeks, and more if stuff is kept refrigerated or frozen, because if you think about it, it's all plant foods.
Right.
So that has actually really helped me in terms of not having a lot of wastage, physically and financially as well. With stuff I wouldn't have been able to sell because things go out of date too quickly or something. Having a long shelf life really helped me out.
Of course, it also means that obviously it's going to, even if you're delivering to shops, they would have a longer shelf life as well, and they get a chance to sell your products instead of it going into the bin. And they're more likely to take a chance with you then if they don't have such a big risk. They'll give you a go and stuff. So, and often it would just the first time I would be with a retailer, I would say I'll give you 40, 50 tubs or something, and then take them there on me. It's a free delivery, and see how well they sell, sort of thing. And because they did have a long shelf life, people were kind of more willing, I think, to take that on. Take it and say yes. Okay.
Yeah.
That's very, very clever, and pretty much easy, I guess, to sort of negotiate, especially if you're saying I'll deliver it.
It sounds like a win-win for both sides. Yeah.
Okay. I as I said to you, I looked on your website and I thought, I just wanted to eat all your cakes, so I'm not sure you've helped me today.
Thank you.
At all. We might need a packet sent to the office or something.
No, definitely. Let
for
me
all of us
some, and Gita as well. Yeah, that would be awesome. I'd love to do that.
I'm not sure there'll be any left.
I warn you, the first delivery always disappears faster than the next one. It's always the way.
Don't worry, we eat a lot of cakes here, so we like cakes. Right, so I like that. Healthy. You said, one of the things that you say is that healthy eating can be fun, colorful, and empowering.
Yeah, and I think that's basically my mission, as it were, when people ask me, is to make healthy food fun and colorful and enjoyable, because I think for so many of us, our mentality, thinking of healthy food as difficult or as a restriction or as deprivation is the main thing that actually stops us from eating healthily, because eating healthy is not difficult. But if we're constantly battling with, I don't want to do that because I'm going to enjoy my life less, or all these things that we tell ourselves to kind of psych ourselves out of just making that step to improve our lives, that's often the thing that stands in the way of you actually doing it. So, and a lot of the time, you'll read about whatever we read in the press and the media about, people eating healthy and celebrities and, examples of food diaries. A lot of the time, it just sounds so uninspiring to me, because I read someone say, I start with a bowl of oatmeal with blueberries, and then I have some chicken with vegetables for lunch, and then I have salad with fish for dinner, or whatever it is. And to me, that just doesn't sound fun at all. And so, what I try to do a lot of is come up with, more exciting ways to use food. So a lot of the time, I'm a seasoning freak with my food. I put, mint and dill and parsley and coriander and lime juice and chilies and all different kinds of things with almost everything I eat. And I think, that's part of the fun combinations you can use as part of keeping it interesting, because, we're all going to get bored at some point if we're eating the same thing, day in, day out. Okay, so when exactly is your book coming out? Because I think that I'm going to be one of the first people sort of... Oh, that's so sweet of you. It's actually out on the 19th of September, and it's going to be sold through Amazon and a couple of other sort of smaller independent bookstores, and then Books for Cooks in Notting Hill is going to be selling it, and I think all smaller retailers throughout the country. But I'm actually not sure who yet, because my publishers are in the kind of mode of figuring out who they're going to be selling it to and stuff. But definitely Amazon is on the cards, so it should be easy to find. And I'll be selling it on my website as well. What's the address for your website again? www.foodstolove, so FOODS for sugar, to love.co.uk. So and I write about nutrition, and you can find all my products on there and recipes, and it's all up there. Okay, so your website again, www.foodstolove.co.uk. Yeah. Okay, so everybody join the queue, because I'm first in line. Yeah, you'll be able to buy it on there as well. So, and that was another important thing to me, is I said, if you want me to do a book, please let me also sell it, because at the end of the day, I am a retailer, so that would make total sense. Wonderful. Jenna, it's been incredibly wonderful to speak to you. Thank you so much for having me. I am so excited. I can't wait, and I'm going to go back and probably purchase some treats for the office. Awesome. Well, let me know where addresses and send you guys, I'm sure. Wonderful. Yeah. Anyone else who wants to order them, they're on my website as well. They're available to buy on the website under Upcakes, and you can find all of my other different favorite products on there as well. Exactly. And I think that it's always nice to have good treats around. Definitely. Whether we like it or not, we do like treats. Yeah, exactly. That's always what I say to, because I do nutritional consultancies, and I always tell my clients is that you'll have plenty of the healthy stuff on hand, so that you don't have to reach for the cakes and the biscuits and the all the unhealthy things that we don't want to have. No, exactly. So
we obviously, if you're going to have a treat and it's going to be good and it's going to be healthy, then obviously we have to come to you and get a packet
and
in the
enjoy
fridge.
it without the guilt.
And exactly, without guilt. Exactly. We don't have to go to hit the gym afterwards or anything.
Yeah, exactly.
Wonderful. So thank you again.
Thank you so much for having me. Thanks a lot.
Pleasure. And hopefully we'll get to try your cake soon and buy your book when it comes out.
Awesome. Great. Thank you so much for having me. It was nice to talk to you. Thanks.
Okay.
Bye.
Thank you so much, Living Raw Radio. Everybody listening in, it's been a pleasure. It's noshdetox.com. All our shows are on iTunes. If you found this interesting, you'd definitely find the rest incredibly interesting as well. Please tune in next week at 6 o'clock for a wonderful guest. Have a lovely evening, and it's been a pleasure. Thank you. Bye. Bye.
Detox is an award-winning company for your ultimate health improvement. Nosh Detox system works on all areas of the body, having dealt with thousands of clients whose health dramatically improved within days. For more details, visit noshdetox.com. noshdetox.com.
Sluggish? Do you feel bloated? Is your energy levels really low? Do you find everything that you eat goes straight to fat? My name is Candice, and I am the naturopathic nutritionist at Nosh Detox. I am here to tell you that your body needs a rest. If that sounds like you are ready to try a Nosh juice fast. A juice fast is the most natural way for your body to detox, while providing you all the life-saving minerals and vitamins that your body needs and craves. From beginners to advanced juices, we have all the options that may be available to you or suited to you. Call me on 0845 257 6674 or go to noshdetox.com and click on the right program for you. I'm right here to help you and support you. Thank you.